in a billion chance to exist in general. You're the only one who can live out your capability. You're the only one who can live out your potential. So you have to use that to your advantage. I feel like we undermine so much about ourselves and fail to realize how much we can do. Stop trapping yourself in a box in regards to that and express yourself in any way you see fit. Things aren't necessarily for the external reaction, and nobody's going to love your stuff until you learn to love it yourself. I don't think a lot of us realize how important it is to be mindful of what we're being mindful of. What I've come to realize is we have to be more intentional with our thoughts because we are always listening. And I kind of use ourselves and I kind of break us up like it's a duality because we do have those two aspects. Like we have the part of ourselves that, observes the thought, and we have the part of ourselves that think it's the thought itself. And the more and more we allow ourselves to feed into this reality where we're our thoughts, where we're the way we think, the more our thoughts become our reality. And when I say that, I mean like the negativity we embrace in our mind, the negativity we allow to permeate through our cracks, allow ourselves to project into the world because of what we feel inside, makes it more and more our reality. The more we allow that negativity to spread outward, the more real, the more it becomes real. So I guess the implication or the intention with this is saying that, you need to take more time and realize where your thoughts are coming from. Realize the way in which you're allowing yourself to sort of hold yourself back with your own mind. And, we're like the physician and the patient all at the same time. But the thing is, before you heal a man of his illness, make sure he's willing to give up the things that make him sick. I feel like in a lot of ways, a lot of us are sick intentionally. We allow ourselves to believe the negative aspects of life more than the positive. We feel like, at least in my experience, it feels like when we're trying to believe in something positive about ourselves, when we're trying to, break out the box of our own understanding, it feels like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. It feels like I don't believe that what I'm instantiating is actually true. But what else do you believe? The opposite. In saying that, I'm saying that you have just as much power to believe in the positive as you do the negative. If you're not making an agreement that's benefiting you, an agreement that's positive and going to influence you, in the right direction, then you're believing something that's not influencing you in the right direction. I'm saying that we have equal power, and it's about shifting your perspective on that, shifting your perspective on what you're allowing yourself to believe. Some might call it delusional, but some might call that negativity you're allowing delusional as well. I feel like everything in life is about attention. Intention is everything. Everything's internal and everything's intention. The way you are inside projects outward. Man sees in the world what he carries in his heart. And a lot of us carry negativity. A lot of us carry previous days. I made a video that said, let yesterday be yesterday. Because none of us do it, I feel like. None of us just let, today be today, yesterday be yesterday. Because we feel like everything has to exist in reference. But there's no such thing as reference. There's no such thing as these days. It's one long string. And once you stop breaking it up like that, it's just experiences. Once you stop doing that, then it's just stuff you connotate. And once you realize your connotation aren't necessarily governed by how you feel in the present moment, because you can go back in your mind, go back in your memory and change something depending on how you feel now. It's about realizing that time doesn't exist, but growth does. The way we look back onto the past, it doesn't really make sense because there's no such thing as past. It's all one big slate and it's condensed, and that's your existence. That's who you are. This is you. You back here, still you. You have to stop referencing your past in that regard. I've changed from who I was. That's somewhat true, but you're still that person. You just express yourself in a different way. You're better at expressing yourself. You're better at handling yourself. You have more definition or less definition in some cases. And I feel like it's those people who try to define themselves to a T that suffer the most from these negative implications of negative thought. It's once you believe you are that you truly are. So once you agree that you are that you truly are. And that's why I'm saying we have to be more intentional with our word and our thoughts. Because I feel like our word governs our thoughts more than anything. It's the way we talk about ourselves. Like whether or not you tell yourself, oh, you know, I'm somewhere, I'll do good on this test no matter what, or you tell yourself, oh, I'm not doing good. Like and it's okay to be real with yourself, but I don't think it's beneficial to undermine yourself. You know, as long as you're putting that work in, part of that putting in work is the belief that what you're doing is actually contributing to something. And of course there's instantiations where it might not work out. You might not do good on the test, you might not do this. But what I'm finding out is, you know, it's not beneficial to derive our worth, derive our value from anything but ourselves. You know, our expressions sometimes are not characteristic of who we are, because we're expressing ourselves in a world full of individuals, full of people that aren't us, full of things that don't necessarily matter to our growth or to who we wish to become. That's why I think it's so important to sort of realize what's pulling your strings, realize what parts of you are coming from you and what parts of you are like being governed by the society in which you choose to live in. Whether or not, you know, those aspects of you, your positivity or negativity, are, you know, results of your environment or results of you. And I think it should be a result of you. But like any negativity to mind is in some way reflective of how you perceive your environment to be. A lot of people sometimes ask me like how I end up like so carefree when it comes to events like stressors. Like if I have to give a speech presentation or if I have to take a test or something like that, you know, my last thought is worry. Like even if I feel underprepared, I don't feel that the stress of the worry, and I feel like that's come from one, meditation, being able to stay on top of my thoughts and realize that I'm not my thoughts, and also realize that regardless of what happened, it's not a reflection of who I am. It's a reflection of a specific instantiation of my expression, and that's not me. All of us are so vast and so deep, we often forget to not attribute small little things to us in totality. If I fail this math quiz, that just means I'm not bad at math. I'm just underprepared in this math subject. It doesn't rank me as a student overall. It's not me as a student overall. It's me in this subject. It's me in this test. And I only said test because I feel like that's relatable for me right now, because I have a test today, another final, yo. So please pray for me. Me go. But that's what it's about. If I was to relate it to like something else, I would say just with our self-improvement. Whether or not we, you know, look at ourselves when we fall down and say it's not worth it. A lot of us try to get into the self-improvement journey, get into that. And I feel like a lot of things are aimed to show you ways in which it's not working. Because I feel like once you start breaking down your exterior, breaking down your external, breaking down, you know, what you thought you were and how you thought about yourself, you realize all the negative ways in which you've allowed yourself to be. You realize all the poison you drink. A lot of us are ill from our own poison, and we're aware of it. We just don't take the time to realize it. Like we're addicted to the chemical reaction to the world. I talked about that in a video a long time ago, because it has to do with Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe forgive me. And the book goes on to say that, you know, we get addicted to our feelings. We get addicted to the negative reactions in our brain because our brain doesn't tell the difference. It's just chemical reactions. And we get addicted to those chemicals. And it's about changing your standard for what you want your life to be and being intentional about it. You know, events only occur one time. And I'm not talking about that with like PTSD and huge traumatic things, but things that don't really matter. I don't think we should hold on to as much as we do at all. You know, if we can't let go, we can't move forward. If you can't leave the past behind, you can't move forward. Oh, same thing. You can't move forward if you can't leave behind the past. You know, you can't leave anything behind if you don't move forward. It's really about the rapid progression and steady growth towards your own goals and your own ideas. And being there for yourself all of it. Self-improvement and life in general is full of ups and downs. You know, sometimes, but It's not about having ups and downs in general. It's about having an up mentality even when it is down. Tending up even when you're going down. Realizing that regardless of what happens, you exist now and you've gone through everything your life has to offer at this point and you're still here. And if that's not blessed, then what is? A lot of us have jumped through hoops to just exist. But that's what makes existence beautiful. It's something you not necessarily have to fight for, but something you can have to fight for. To exist is a blessing. You're a 1 in a billion chance to exist in general. You're the only one who can live out your capability. You're the only one who can live out your potential. So you have to use that to your advantage. I feel like we undermine so much about ourselves and fail to realize how much we can do. You know, stop trapping yourself in a box in regards to that and express yourself in any way you see fit. Things aren't necessarily for the external reaction, and nobody's going to love your stuff until you learn to love it yourself. No one's going to, I can't say no one's going to love you, but I don't feel like you really understand being loved by someone else until you can love yourself. When it's no longer conditional, you realize someone's doing it just to do it. And once you learn how to do that yourself, you learn how to do it in all things. And it reminds me of this Musashi quote about once you understand the way broadly, you see the way in everything. And I've talked about it in the video before, but I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. Like, you see the way people express themselves, you see their little outlets, you see everything, you know, work in conjunction. You see the way that people's minds and people's soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, tend towards something. And it's about finding that thing that your soul tends towards. And if you can't find that, keep doing stuff. Find a creative passion. Find something to do to express yourself in ways that are not necessarily standard. Express yourself in ways other than emotion. You know, like make a poem, draw a picture, do something, work out, do something to sort of take that step back from your mind. I feel like once we're able to do that, once you can do that, everything becomes a little bit more real. And I say real in the sense that it becomes more level. You become more readily able to make those choices to be better and to look at the world in a way that's going to help you. So if you made it this far in the video, I guess the point of it is to be intentional with your thoughts. Be intentional with how you're allowing yourself to treat yourself. All in all, thank you so much. Keep being y'all. Keep being great. Like I said, it's a blessing to be here. Blessing to wake up in the morning. So smile because of it. Do a push-up. Clap behind your back when you stand back up. Pat yourself on the back. You fall down, congratulations. That means you stood up. All of the above. And we got more coming this summer. A lot more coming. You want to see a profound album? Just let me know in the chat. All in all, thank you.